Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Chimisif here, and welcome to Astroneer. It's a new game that is currently in pre-alpha. It just came out today on Steam, and I want to take a couple minutes today in this video to show you guys how to get started in Astroneer, because I know at the beginning of this game it can be a little bit confusing, and you might be a little bit lost and not sure what to do. So this video, I will show you the very basics on how to get started on your world in Astroneer, and just sort of how this game works at its core. So, just starting out here, you've got a couple different astronauts to choose from. They're all the same, they just have different suits. And if you have a saved file, they go over here. So what I'm gonna do, I haven't played with this guy in the orange suit yet. He looks really awesome. Let's go ahead and hit launch. And that is going to send us into orbit. Now, the really cool thing about this game is that every world is different. So every time you boot up a new world, it's gonna be completely different from the one you played before. And I really like that in games. I like the randomness of that about this game, and apparently I'm getting a massive frame loss right now. It's okay, we're descending into this new atmosphere, and this world looks very bright and happy, almost sort of like a candy land. I don't really know, but I like it. So, that being said, let's begin. And the first thing you're gonna do is hit tab. You're gonna jump out of your space pod, and you're gonna be hooked up to a blue line, which represents your oxygen. Now, the first thing you need to know, because there really is no HUD in this game, is you need to pay attention to your backpack. Now, your backpack is very important. I'll try and use my little cursor here to show you guys, but this blue bar at the top right here, it's totally full right now, but that is your oxygen. So if I step off of this line and break the line, I begin to use my own oxygen supply, and you can see this blue bar begin to go down. Now, if you're out exploring on your own, you can't do it for very long at the beginning of the game here, unless you upgrade some things. Or you do some specific things in terms of tethering, and I'll get to that at the end of this video, but you're gonna wanna be very careful, because eventually, you know, this oxygen does go out fairly quick, so just be wary of that. The next thing you're gonna wanna look at is this yellow bar here. Once again, it's already full, but that is your battery. That's the level of your battery on your backpack. If you press Q, you can actually open up your backpack. I probably could have showed this to you guys a little bit closer up. But these are your slots. You have 8 slots here and then 2 slots on the side. And this is sort of a scroll wheel here to tell you the different things that you can craft. So if I find compound, I'd be able to make a solar panel. So we'll get into all that stuff. Oops, we'll get into all that stuff as we play along. Now, one of the first things you're gonna notice is you're able to click on this little, like, you know, circular outpost thingy here. And this is a way to expand your base, and it says that we need resin. Now, resin is a blue, I think it's this stuff over here, but it's a blue sort of structure. Right now there's a lot of plants and life around us here. But we're gonna use our terrain tool, which you can open by pressing E, and we're gonna go collect some materials. Now, the terrain tool is pretty cool in that you can go ahead and suck up the world. If you press Alt and hold Alt, you can replace the world. You can, you know, make mountains or whatever. And then if you hold Control, it sort of flattens things out a little bit. And then just left clicking with your mouse sucks the world up. And that is actually as well how we collect things in Astroneer. So what I'd like to do, what is this? Is that like a space pod over there? What the heck? So what I'd like to do first is I'd like to locate some resin. I think there is some actually over here, maybe not. Nope, those were just blue plants. There's compound right here, which is a good sign. Let me see if I can find some resin. It shouldn't be too far away, and of course, just make sure you're constantly reattaching, if you can, to your base so that you're not running out of oxygen. And night it will descend upon us. Here we have hydronize, but luckily we have a little flashlight in the front of our helmet, which is gonna help us out. Now these are cool. These are kind of random, and you can take, there we go, we actually got some resin from that, perfect. But these are little pods that are scattered across the world, and if they pop off like that, there's goodies inside, and you're gonna wanna get those. Sometimes they're kind of rare items you can get in there. Resin we just found in there, which we needed, but it's not a super rare item or anything, but we did get some copper. So that's really, really helpful. So for copper, you know, you can use copper to make a generator. I don't want to make a generator, but if I slide over to generator, you'll see that the little copper block that I have here, resource, slides down into here, and if I hit this button, it would craft a generator. We're not gonna do that quite yet. I'd like to still go out and find some resin. So let's see if we can get lucky and find some resin. Oops, he's pointing. I accidentally clicked. All right, resin. Here we go, we got some resin. This is what resin looks like. Now, it looks like there's only one here, but as you start to dig, you'll notice that there sort of becomes a bit more. Let's see if there's more under the surface there. Yes, there is. And there we go. All right, so I don't want to get trapped down here. You got to be careful. Sometimes you have to excavate your way out. It says my backpack has no power, and you'll see that in terms of the oxygen level, I'm about to hit 50. There we go, 50%. Now the nice thing, if you get lost in this game, which I actually am lost right now, there's a little home beacon that'll show you where your home base is located. So if you get lost, just look around for that, and the closer you get, obviously that descends. All right, so we got some resin. Let's go ahead and we can do, telling me to open my backpack, but what we can do, go ahead and do is we can click right here. It's gonna deposit one of the resin in there. And now it wants 2 resin. So I only have 1 in my inventory here. So let me go collect another one and I will be right back. All right, so I actually just found a resin deposit here. So this is sort of like a crystal structure that looks like it's just producing resin, which is pretty sweet. So that was super helpful. Let me get back to the base. It actually took me a minute to find it, but here we are. Our oxygen is at 25%. We're getting really low. Sprinting, gotta get back. I'm not sure if sprinting actually causes you to use more oxygen, but now we're suffocating, so we gotta hurry. Oh, go, go, go. Looks like I'm running slower as I'm going. There we go, we got attached. We survived. Whew, that was really close, you guys. Okay, so we've got both resin here. Let's go ahead and open up our inventory. We can take our resin out and just sort of plop them in here if you want. And what this is gonna do, it's gonna consume the resin, and now it has made a larger base. Now this is super cool. So what this is sort of a way for you to sort of branch out and make your base whatever you want. So right here we have an option to make a printer, and for that we need copper. If you scroll over, there's different things that you can make. So we have research, smelter, a vehicle bay, and those are the different things that you can make when you expand one of your first platforms with 2 resin. So one of the most readily available resources that I have found around is the compound, which is over there. It's flashing green. And we can use compound to make a research station. So if I come over here, grab some of this compound. Let's grab 2 units of compound. Or more. I need a little bit more. All right, our battery ran out, that's fine. So let's head back over. And I love the music in this game as well. Kind of reminds me of Interstellar a little bit, which I really like. So let's go ahead and put the compound in here. And then what you have to do is you need to press this little button right here, and it's going to consume the compound. It's going to make your research station. Now in later videos we'll probably be exploring what some of these things do, but for instance I haven't done this yet, but I would assume that like this says no power here. So in order to make power, what you would need to do, I believe, not 100% sure on this one yet, but you would need to make a battery with lithium, and then I believe you just plug that into there. But we'll get into that in later videos. For right now, we're keeping things fairly basic. Now, one of the things you're gonna wanna do in order to explore and survive is you're actually gonna wanna collect more compound. So let's grab our terrain tool here. We're gonna suck up some more compound. There's lots of it in this area right here, which is really, really nice. Not too far from the base. Let's grab some more, and you'll see that we're already out of power. All right, so in order to solve that problem, what we can do is we can make, let's see here. We can make a solar panel. So a solar panel is made with one of these units of compound, and let's go ahead and hit this button right here. And what the solar panel is gonna allow us to do is it's gonna allow us to charge our backpack a lot faster. You can see the battery already, look at that, it's flying, dude. So it points towards the sun, and it uses obviously the sun's energy to charge your battery. So that means that we can suck up more compound faster. So that's super, super helpful. So let's go ahead and come over here. I'm gonna grab all this compound. Now it does get a little bit tricky. You may end up making a giant crater for yourself here. Just be wary of that. And if if you're somebody that doesn't want to destroy the environment around you or whatever, you can always replace this with your gun. And look at this, I mean, our battery pack is charging up quite nicely now due to the solar panel. So super, super helpful. I would imagine if you made another one, I'm not gonna make another one, but if you made 2 of them and had them on both sides of your backpack, both the left side and the right side, over here and over here, that it would charge very, very quickly. But I'm gonna use this compound that we do have to make some tethers. Now tethers are extremely fun and they're very, very important as well. So let's go ahead and make a batch of these tethers. Now what this does, one compound does, is it's gonna give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tethers. And we even had more compound here, so let's go ahead and make even more. So we'll have 22 tethers. Now what tethers are, they're basically a way for you to extend the oxygen from your base to wherever you wanna go. And what you do is you just press T, and it's gonna give you this little tether here. And you can start to expand out. All you just do is left click to place it down, and you'll see that my character is now connected to this tether and oxygen is flowing through. So this is a great way to expand your horizons on your new planet and go out and explore, right? Because sometimes materials and stuff are gonna be really far away. Now, if you wanna know how long you can extend these tethers before they aren't really connected, if you see graphically here, let me try and orient myself here. As I extend this out, when this line breaks, that's no longer connected. So if you wanna place it the farthest away, just make sure that it is visually connected before you place it down. So let's go ahead and let's jump out here and explore a little bit. Let's see where we go. Now at nighttime, these tethers do light up, so it kind of does give you a little bit of light, especially if you're in a cave or something. And I did find a cave over that way, but we'll probably explore that a little bit later. So let's go ahead and continue. All right, so this one didn't connect, it was too far away. If that happens, just re-pick it up, bring it a little bit closer, and there you go. So I wanna go see what this is over here. So let's go ahead and drop some tethers down and we'll see what this is. Now you'll notice in your backpack, if you press Q, that I've already used up a small handful of these tethers here, but this is still here. This unit of tethering is still here. Like I said, there's 11 in a pack. So it does extend you quite a ways, and that's per one block of compound. So it's pretty decent. All right, so let's keep going. I could probably extend this one a little bit further. There we go. Now, another thing you may come across in your travels on your land, your planet here in Astroneer, is these blue thingies right here. Now what these are actually, it's oxygen. So if you're out and about and you're not tethered and you find these, you're definitely gonna wanna suck them up with your terrain tool. It's gonna give you free oxygen. There's another batch of them over there. And likewise, there's also yellow ones like this that are actually power, and they will power your backpack as well, which is pretty cool. So it looks like there's some light coming over here. I don't know what's in here. I'm honestly not too well versed 100% of this game. I know the basics and stuff, but I don't know what can kill us yet. So I might be doing myself a disservice by going over here, but this is just a little bit of the exploration that you can do within Astroneer. Now, obviously I could continue to explore this cave. There's those yellow ones I was talking about. Those are battery power right there. So obviously I could continue exploring in here, and there's definitely some interesting things. You know, there's some resources in here that I believe right here. What does this say? What is that? Laterite. All right, cool. So it looks like you can get different supplies as well from within caves. Now this right here says unknown. I know you guys can't really see it all that well. It's kind of covered up by, well, the text was covered up by the body, whatever this is, but it said unknown research. And I assume once we build and finalize our research station and give it power, that we can go ahead and start to research some of these minerals and materials that we find out here on our planet. That's pretty much the basics of Astroneer. It is pretty straightforward. It's a lot of fun, but like I said, in upcoming videos, I will show you guys some different things. We're gonna try and hopefully make a vehicle bay and all that stuff at some point. I'd love to make a vehicle. I'd love to try and get a battery going. But basically the gist of it is you can sort of build and expand your base kind of wherever you want, right? So if I want to continue to build this over here, all we would need is more resin, and I would just collect more resin and continue building this way with these different modules. And you can make all sorts of different things like I showed before. The printer, the research station, the vehicle bay, there was something else I can't remember. But all you got to know really at the beginning when you start out is go out and collect some resin, grab some compound. You can do a lot with both of those things, and then start exploring. Make some tethers and start exploring, and then you can sort of change up what you have here, what you want to make in terms of little modules for your backpack or whatever, or items that, you know, sink into, say, a research station or whatever, by just using the scroll wheel over here. It's pretty straightforward, guys. So if you want to see some more episodes and videos and tutorials on Astroneer, please be sure to hit that like button down below this video. If you enjoyed the video as well, please be sure to subscribe, as I will be doing more videos. And if you really want to make sure you're not missing out on any of the content that I'm putting out, subscribe and hit the bell button next to the subscribe button. I hate that I have to say this, but YouTube is sort of broken right now, and honestly, a lot of people aren't seeing my videos in their sub box. So the best way to get those videos is to hit that little bell next to the subscribe button. But guys, my name is Jimmy Swift. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.